Today we're taking a look at Next Up Hero. Now this game comes to us courtesy of Game Pass. It's something that I think came out maybe 2 or 3 days ago, so kind of like late June. I've been playing with it a little bit. I guess I would best describe it as a light-rogue-lite game. There are some elements that carry over from gameplay to gameplay, but the real draw is in the way that when you die, you kind of help other people, and you kind of join their game as a ghost, and you'll see some of that here in a second. First, let's take a look at the characters. You'll notice that all characters across the top are either ranged or melee. I prefer ranged. I like the fact that death is permanent. You don't get health potions. You don't want to get hit. Now, I haven't experienced too much lag with the game, but there are times that, because it is a network game, there is some issues with input and some latency problems. I've noticed some stuttering. I don't want to be anywhere close to an enemy. I want to be as far away as possible. That's why I prefer ranged. You'll see the characters here that remind me of Dorbs, if you're familiar with the little Dorb collectors. This kind of reminds me of something like that. I know my buddy Brent is a big Dorbs fan, so he probably immediately was like, oh my god, they don't have legs, they're Dorbs. They're very cute, stylized characters, though, and they all have different kind of looking personalities. You'll also notice they have different attacks. Some of them I have upgraded, some of them I have not. You'll notice that the melee characters obviously have more hit points, and typically they have more attack damage, because it's that whole risk-reward thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started, though, with Morta. I've been playing a lot with her because I do like the range stuff. And she has a rocket damage that does some damage, and then the mortar drop is a pretty nice thing to poke enemies at range as well. Now, there are a slew of ways to play this game. I'm going to go ahead and jump into normal adventures. I'll tell you that this game is very repetitive in gameplay. There isn't much to it. The draw is in these adventures and kind of almost challenging other players to see how far you can make it versus how far everybody else has made it, who's beaten it, how many tries did it take people to beat it, that sort of thing. So you'll see here that this adventure expires in a couple hours, actually 8 hours. And you'll see here that, you know, it's 2-star difficulty, 8 echoes. That means there are 8 corpses, in a sense, that you can revive, and those are your heroes to help you out in your adventure. That'll make a little more sense as we dive into it and play. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game, and we will check it out together. So, very simple moves. You have not a whole lot you can do here, right? You're gonna attack. You're gonna have some bonus abilities that you charge up on a special meter. It's a twin-stick shooter, so if you've played a twin-stick shooter, you're probably familiar with how that works. You don't want to get hit, like I said. You get hit, you're going to die, and you're not going to be able to get resurrected. Game's over. There's no health potions or anything like that. So my character has, since I've upgraded her, she has this mortar ability, which I love. It does some pretty nice poke damage, and you'll see that blue meter below my health filling back up when I use my mortar. She also has a dash ability, where you saw that there. That's my orange meter. That's a burst damage, and it kind of shoots you backwards. She also has a forward dash, which I'll show you here. That's a jump forward. Kind of goes off the same meter. So there is some ability to move around. Now, you'll see here that we've come across a dead character. We're going to go ahead and res them. 2 things will happen. Number 1, they will now follow us as a ghost, and number 2, you'll see in the upper right, I now have 1 follower. That's important later on because you're going to cash in your followers to unleash ancient abilities to help you, or you could just have them just fight for you. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to cash in those abilities. That'll make a little more sense when I get more than 1 follower. The HUD will actually change, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and just keep killing people. And one of the things that this game really kind of sells itself on is it says, hey, listen, you don't need to kill all the enemies to advance. That's actually the portal right here to advance to the next level. You'll notice, though, that I can't get to it yet. I believe it's 75% of the enemies have to be destroyed. I don't know why you wouldn't want to kill everyone to keep getting gold, but you have the option, I guess, if you just choose if you'd rather kind of wait and get out of there before too much bad things happen, I guess. I don't know. Now, some enemies, like this one here in particular, is a little frustrating because he has a stun. So once you get hit, It's almost like this little mini stun lock that you kind of get stuck in. You'll also notice that my ghost companion does not take any damage whatsoever, so good for them to kind of like, you know, get them set up, and then you can kind of kite the enemy as you need to. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm getting these items, and I'm also getting these tokens. Now, these tokens are going to be cashed in at the end of the match to unlock certain abilities, permanent abilities. And each different enemy, if you'll notice, has a different type of attack. Some of them are, they roll into a ball and charge at you. Some of them, like that guy I fought a second ago with the ice where I got hit a few times, has a built-in stun. You'll be able to cash those in, and you'll see that you can permanently add that to your character's arsenal, which is kind of nice. Problem here. Now I'm already getting nailed pretty hard. I mean, I'm already down to 41 health, so like I said, you are going to die a lot. And this is with a ranged character. I mean, this isn't like, imagine melee being up there, you know, trying to like dodge roll against some of those attacks. It's a little more difficult. These enemies here have a shield, for example. The nice thing is I'm going to stand there and kind of soak some of the aggro, as it were, while the other characters are going to kind of hit them in the back. But they're taking too long, so I'm going to kind of loop around and help a little bit too. So the ghost companions don't do a ton of damage, but what you can do is you cash them in. So you see now in the right-hand corner that my I have 3. See, I have 3 different options I can choose from. Now each of those ancients do different things. Okay, there we go. I'll just go ahead and select one. It doesn't really matter too much because I don't find them that useful, but I just want to show you for completeness. I'd rather have the minions just running around with me, kind of like, you know, soaking up damage. Not really soaking up damage, just putting out damage rather, and just kind of having a buffer between me and an enemy. But if you wanted to cash them in, what you do, once you cash them in, they're gone. They can't be, like, returned to you. So you have to choose when you want to use them in their ancient powers very, very carefully. So the next enemy I get to, I'll go ahead and just pick this middle one. Some of them give you buffs to attack speed. Some of them will just do some sort of AoE damage. You'll notice as I unlock more and more abilities become available. You can get up to an ancient, I think that does like, it's worth like absorb of like 6 or 7. And I think you can carry a total of 7 minions or whatever's with you. So we'll go ahead and pick, I don't know, this fish. We'll just try it out. When we get close to the next enemy pack, I'll go ahead and dump it and we can see what it does. So here we go, I'm gonna put it down. So it looks like some sort of shield. It's probably some sort of buff. And I can show you those abilities at the end. Again, now they're permanently gone. So you see my number is reduced down to 3. And I only have 3 left. So you're kind of cashing in their souls, so to speak. And the objective is to complete the level. The minions will carry with you from level to level. You don't get any kind of perks or anything if you like keep them around. I don't know. Again, to me, I don't really think that cashing them in is that useful. So let's go ahead, and I think we have enough to finish this level. The portal's open. Quite, yep, already died. There you go. What I mean, this game is punishing. You're going to take a lot of melee damage. You're going to have to rely on those boosts in and those boosts out in order to really progress without getting hit. Because if you get hit, you die. So I'm actually glad I died because that's a big part of the loop, and then I'll wrap up my video. I just don't want to play for hours. But that really is the gameplay. If you think that is something you would be interested in, that's what you're going to be doing over and over and over again. If that's something you're not interested in, you might not want to play this game. So let's go back a second now. We're back to the character select screen again. This time I'm going to hit my loadout. Now I got those gold coins you saw. Let's say, for example, I wanted to play with Widget. For 500 gold, I could upgrade him and give him that decoy ability. I've already done that with Morta, so her rocket jump is done. As far as I can tell, there's nothing else I can do to upgrade her. Now, if I go to my loadout, that is where you'll start to unlock more things. So I have an ability 1, ability 2, some attack items, some defense items, and accessory. Of course, I don't have anything yet. I don't really know how you get these. I've been playing for quite a while now, and I don't have any of those attack items. But I did get an ability. So those coins that you saw me collecting earlier when I killed an enemy, like the guy with the shield, for example, it's a perfect example. You'll notice here, I've already paid for it. That's why that coin is there. That's why that ability is there. But let's say, do I have any more that are full? I do. Inverse damage. So these were the screws that flew around, and if you remember, when I attacked them, right before they died, they exploded. So if I want to pick up this ability, I would cash in 8 of my 16 coins to unlock this ability, which would deal 4 to 7 damage bonus inverse to your remaining health. So I'll go ahead and take that. Now I own it, right? So now if I wanted to switch out my ability, I could, and I could equip it, and now there you go. And that's what those coins do. So that's why I said it's kind of like a roguelite game, because the more you play, you're going to unlock more coins. You're going to be able to unlock all of these different abilities. A lot of these I don't have, like, for example, I don't even know who this tree guy is. I've never met him. I have 0 of 8. So I have to meet him, kill him 8 times, get 8 coins to come back to unlock this ability 1 time. And you'll notice that a lot of these abilities have more than 1 level. They have level 1, level 2, whatever, and they do more and more perks. So you got to keep buying more. So I'm going to have to kill 40 of these and get 40 coins if I wanted to completely level up the inverse damage. So that's how the coin system works. And then lastly, I was showing you guys that ancient ability. And the ancient ability is where you saw I cashed in some souls. I believe the one I cashed in, it was a 5-star, I believe, or 4-star. It was probably one of these, maybe this guy here. No, it's probably him, maybe. You have people that'll target an enemy. That's going to cost you 3 echoes, 4 echoes. Boost hero defense for a limited time. That's probably who I picked up. That seems about right. I had a shield on me. But you cash these in. You see they have kind of limited durations. They'll give you a shield. They'll give you whatever. Now, I assume there's going to be more ancients you can unlock, and you could, cash them in and do stuff. You saw the one I had. I wouldn't say it was that great. Because the enemies are so spread apart and because the engagements are so fast, I'm not really sure the value in having something that's like a bonus shield for a few seconds. I guess you could say, well, geez, Jim, you got hit. If you had that shield, you might have survived. Well, yeah, that's true, I guess, but that was more like a trash mob. That wasn't like more of the harder bosses. So when do you use it? I don't know. I guess that's kind of the risk-reward. But to me, this system with the cashing in your ancients probably could be done a little better and be a little more impactful. It may make me want to go out and collect more hero corpses to kind of like fill out my army and kind of like burn through them as opposed to getting them and just hoarding them. So that is a quick walkthrough of Next Up Hero in a nutshell. The real draw of this game, as I mentioned, is going to be in these levels. And if you find these ventures fun and you want to make your own dungeon and you want to challenge your friends and say, hey, I got to this level farther than you, show me your progress, challenge me, whatever. That's probably where you're going to get the most bang for your buck in a game like this. But if you think the gameplay is kind of basic and you're not a big fan of the way that the progression system is, which there isn't really that much, I already showed you everything that's out right now, you may want to skip this game. If I had to rate it right now on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, I'd probably give it about a 5, maybe a 6. It's pretty, it's artful, there's just not a lot of depth here. I feel like this is a game you're going to probably play for a couple hours and kind of get bored of it, and you're going to move on to something else. But hey, it's a Game Pass game, so I can't really complain there. And that's my summary and review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.